Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to one of the first weekly geeks of 2025. Not the first, I don't think, but one of the first. I am one of your hosts, praise the Lord, Taylor Field, and I'm joined by...
I am the leaker of leaks, Kirkland Patzer. It might not be the first one of the year, but this might be the most important one of the year because this is the first of you and I together. The Beckinsale boys.
The Beckinsale boys, yeah. We got to officially change that from the 2000s to the Beckinsale boys.
Yeah, it sounds better.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we got a nice roster of news topics to roll through here tonight for you guys. It's going to be a great time. Before we get into that, a couple of plugs. You can find us with your internet connection in the search bar. GeekVerse.ca is our home base. GeekVerseCast our Twitter. Check us out on the Patreon because you can get ad-free, exclusive, early content available there, including, should be dropping very quickly here, not tonight, but tomorrow we'll be doing our Mickey 17 review. So that'll be ad-free on the Patreon. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Aaron Braden, April of Darkness, Jack Grant, Sam, Superbad Mike, God Loves Me 69, Jeremy Renner, Charlie Randall. You guys are fantastic. Love you very, very much. And yeah, what else do we got? Daredevil, Born Again, popping off. That's just ushered us in with 2 episodes, so you can check out our review of those. And then we have weekly after that. What else? We concluded Spider-Man Freshman... My Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. God damn it. Feels like we are still reviewing that. We finished Dexter. So there's a few other things that you can tune in that we have completed and reviewed entirely. We are going to be popping off with the Mission Impossible retros. Those will be dropping first on the Patreon. So you want to check that out. We'll be going from 1 all the way to Fallout. We will not be doing...
Dead Reckoning.
Thank you, Dead Reckoning. Yeah, because we already have that review, so we'll just be re-releasing that review on the feeds in anticipation of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. So lots of stuff coming on to your headphones, your podcast players, whatever you listen to. We're gonna be there. But before we get into this news, Kirk, I had something pop up, and this should only take like 5 minits. And Travis isn't here. Travis would lose his shit if he was here. He wouldn't let me do this. But I wanted to do it with you because I thought this would be kind of fun.
We're gonna rate our podcast friends.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I was watching this reel, and it was like this guy was doing an etiquette test, and I was like, this is a very unconventional etiquette test, but there's actually some credibility to this. And if you're listening on the podcast version, that's fine. I'll dissect it for you. But if you're on the video version, that's where you want to be to watch it. So I'm gonna share my screen here.
Okay.
And don't worry, Travis. I know you'll listen eventually, but you can just. Yeah, it's all good. So this is a urinal etiquette test, and I'm just.
Oh yes.
Now, so there's 7 urinals here.
Yeah.
And now 2 of them are occupied. So you've got the left one open, the far right one, the 3 middle ones are available. Which one are you going for here?
I'm going dead center. I'm going bullseye right here.
That's I'm consider that absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Now, what are you doing in this case? So guy is still second to the left, and then the guy's third from the right.
I mean, it's funny. So just to interject here, my dad and I were talking about this. How like this is like. It's almost like it's second nature to me because it's like I have the answers to the test right now. Because I'm gonna choose the far right one here, and then right. like we both showed this to like my mom and then Shay as well. You know, both females, and like they wouldn't understand. They haven't gone through a urinal situation, but to guys it's just natural. But anyways, I'm acing these. Keep hitting them up.
You got it. That's the right answer. Okay. Now how about this?
Oh, this is a tricky one.
The 2 on the left are taken. The 1 on the far right and 1 empty one, then 1 3 over.
Yeah, this one's a little bit trickier. Initially my heart was thinking the one on the left, but I think that's a trap. I think I'm gonna go the one next to the gentleman in the middle on the left side.
Yeah,
that one right there.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
You can't go right in between these 2.
No, definitely not. They're gonna both be looking at you and be like, "What the hell's the matter with you?" Yeah,
that's right. All right, a couple more left.
Okay.
This one I feel it's pretty obvious. 2 on the left, 2 on the right.
Dead center, bullseye. Let's go.
Center. Yeah. How about this one? There's 6 available stalls, and only 1 guy is in here, but he's second from the left.
Yeah, I would go far right here, as far as possible from the gentleman.
Far as possible, yeah. That's right. Did we do this one already?
I think so. Dead center would be my option.
Okay.
Oh, this one's tricky.
Now it's like, it's intervals here. Empty, filled, empty, filled.
I think there's I think there's two better answers and then two worse answers, and I would say the two better answers are the ones on the end, the far left or the far right. It's interesting because I feel like in this situation it depends where the sink is, if that makes any sense at all. Like if the sink is on like the far left, I feel like I'm going far right just to get a
Yeah.
little bit away from the sink users. Like what do you think there? Do you think I'm right in
You know,
that logic?
I was thinking far left or far right until you
Yeah.
mentioned the sink. That is
Yeah.
spot on. I'm going as
Yeah.
far away from that sink as
Yeah,
possible.
exactly. You know, some guy might be trying to get a peek while he's washing his hands or something. You never know.
That's well said.
Okay. Let's keep it going. I'm gonna say the far right one here.
The far right one. Yeah.
The far right
yeah.
one's taken, but you want to be as far away from the two gentlemen in the middle.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. And I feel it's just a weird scenario because if you show up after the fact, it's like, okay, well, which one of those two gentlemen went?
That's
go right
that's
next?
a good point. If someone's like you can hear them like unzipping, getting ready to start, like that might change the answer because you want to be you basically want to minimize the amount of time that you're sitting next to some or not standing next to someone
That's
in these
right.
situations. I feel.
That's exactly right. And I think that's it. So yeah, that's a easy pass for you.
That's
I'm gonna whip
fun,
that out again
yeah.
on the other guy for Travis and
Yeah.
Dylan next time. See what they pick.
Yeah, we'll judge them based on their answers. It's
I feel like
funny though that
Travis.
I feel like I've done that test before. I feel like back in the day it might have been like a phone app as well. It's called like the urinal test or something like that.
Old
But
Facebook quiz or something.
yeah, yeah, that was on BuzzFeed, wasn't it? That would make sense. I might have
Yes,
done it
yeah.
on BuzzFeed. They love
Mhm.
their quizzes, but cool. That was a good way to start. Good
That was
good
a good
ice
one.
icebreaker.
Icebreaker. Yeah, yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, now you bared with us throughout that, so we're gonna get into our first topic here: Avengers, Secret Wars, and Doomsday leaks. Now, if you haven't been following along, there was a bunch of stuff that got leaked. A little bit of drama over at the Marvel Homestead, but we're not going to be sharing the images here live because if we do, that'll be the end of GeekVerse podcast as we know it. So we're just going to be looking at these photos off to the off to the side or so. Oh, am I allowed to say that? I think I'm allowed to say that.
Oh yeah, come on.
Yeah, we're just
We're
not
looking at
showing
it.
them, but we've seen them because other people did the dirty work.
If you want to know, just Google it. They're everywhere. The images are everywhere. They're what would you call it? The artist rendition. What's the
Concept
word
art?
I'm looking? Concept art. Thank you. That's exactly what they are. But
Yes.
yeah, they're on the interwebs. You can go check them out.
Which one would you like to start with, Kirkland? I feel like there's one in particular I know you like to join.
Yeah, I think my favorite out of the bunch for just comic reasons, not comic book reasons, just comedic reasons, is there's an image. We have Mr. Star-Lord. I guess also, you know, this isn't like a legit thing. This is just concept art, so this might not be completely accurate. Take it with a grain of salt. But all that being said, maybe potential minor spoilers here for again, concept art of or concept ideas of what we might be seeing in Avengers. So that's my disclaimer. Anyways, my favorite one is we have Mr. Star-Lord and what appears to be the White Vision himself, Snow Vision, whatever you want to call him. And they're just chilling on the couch. It looks like Star-Lord is crushing a beer. They have multiple alcoholic beverages as well as a pizza that's untouched, some burritos, a couple apples on there, which is nice to see. But yeah, various alcoholic beverages, which maybe they're just chilling and having a party. Who knows? Maybe this is like a dark period of Star-Lord's life, and he's relying on the sauce because there does seem to be quite a bit of booze there. You know, don't want to judge. He has gone through a lot, but still, I feel like it's somewhat concerning, and I don't think Vision's drinking any of this because he's a non-human. I'm sure he could drink the beverages, but I don't think it would be hitting him with the same reaction that it would for a human. So yeah, this one I just chuckled because I'm like, this looks so stupid. And then I realized that this is like potentially leaked concept art. And I'm like, man, what are they cooking up over here? Like, this is gonna be like a Thor Endgame situation, you know, when we have Fat Thor and he's not doing so well mentally, kind of in a depressed era, era of his life, just falling from the events of Avengers Infinity War and just the results there. But yeah, it's just a weird image to me. It looks very AI-y. It's concept art, you know, so it's not supposed to look live action-y, but just the pair up, I think, is the weirdest thing of them all. And then in another image later on, Star-Lord's hitting the sauce again. So I'm like, man, they're really just gonna make him like a booze head here, which I don't know. We'll wait and see what happens. Maybe it's like, well, he just likes, a glass here and there, but just based off this one image, there's many bottles there, and I feel like that's a bit of a red flag. But
We kind of saw him as a booze head too before, right? I think it was Guardians 3 where he was drinking at the start, or was it the Christmas specials?
I think it was the Christmas special. No, oh dear, my memory is fading me. It's one of those two projects, anyways. Yeah, he's not doing so well. The loss of Gamora, obviously, that's a big heavy hitter there. But yeah.
I think it's a hilarious photo. Again, we haven't seen Snow Vision outside of Marvel's What If, so this will be his first live action return.
Since WandaVision. That's crazy. That's so long ago.
It was, geez Louise. So I'm all for it, and I'm actually kind of not expecting to see Star-Lord back in action, but I can't remember if they said Star-Lord would return when we got to the end of Guardians 3. I can't remember if it said that or not.
I don't think it did. He was meeting the old chap, right?
He's meeting his grandfather.
Yeah.
I
Gramps.
think. Gramps, that's right. Him. Yeah. So I'm definitely down for that. It looks like it's a fun little crossover, and I just love those characters that are just unconventionally no affiliation, just being spruced together. And like you said, getting to the other scene where he's drinking, and you got Wong, and you got Kate Bishop, you got what's the little ant girl? Hornet
Stature,
Stinger?
I think is her like comic book name. Stature. The fuck is her name? My God.
It's not Stinger?
It might be. I Stature is a character that I thought. Cassandra Lang. Yeah, that's
Cassandra Lang.
her.
That's the one. Yeah. We got Wiccan in there. We got Miss Marvel, and there's this other little chap behind Wiccan who I can't figure out who he is. Of course.
I'd imagine
that's
that's
who he is.
the other brother.
It's the twin.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Got my finger up in the air here. So Cassandra Lang, notable aliases according to the interwebs here: Ant Girl, Cassie Lang, Stature, Cassandra Lang, Giant Girl, and Stinger. So they're all applicable there. I'm curious because I don't think they gave her like a comic book superhero name in Quantumania. I haven't rewatched that movie in a while, but I've never rewatched that movie actually.
I don't think they gave her one.
Yeah, so just Cassie Lang, but we're both right.
Cool. And then we got the Slimer from Ghostbusters with the X-Men symbol over on his chest. I know this. People are gonna hate me, but I don't exactly know what that X symbol means.
The X symbol, isn't it? X-Men. Isn't that like the X-Men symbol? It looks very similar to like the symbol that they have on the old X-Men jackets and suits and stuff like that.
Yeah, it does. I thought it wasn't X-Men, but something else.
Okay. I thought right away it was just X-Men. It's an interesting collaboration of individuals, though. And Wong's rocking a sick cape here, man. I'm not a big fan of capes overall. I think Incredibles really shined light on the irrelevant nature of capes. But on certain individuals, we love a good shoulder cape here in the Geekverse.
We do. I would rock shoulder capes again in real life if it was accepted by society. This guy's name is Dupe, and he does have affiliation with X-Men. Very interesting. Okay. I didn't realize that logo was actually the X-Men logo. I thought it was some other kind of group or crew that was affiliated somehow or wanted to be them.
I think it's the symbol for Xavier High School in New York City, where Matt Murdock famously went.
That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a whole bunch of interesting characters just all grouped together here, and it's really amazing just to see this lineup of young Avengers, do I dare say, just kind of teamed up in this situation.
Young and old.
Young and old. And Wong is still just the key to the MCU. He's tying everyone's stories together, so
he's the Infinity Gauntlet of the MCU right now, and each project is a stone in and of itself. Very curious at the location. Again, obviously it's concept art. This could just be a cool bar that they designed, but it feels like a Guardians type world, whether it's um, Nowhere or yeah, like I was gonna say like Nova Prime, but that has like a very specific type of
That
aesthetic
got
to it,
destroyed.
and it got destroyed. I'm realizing as I'm speaking, but yeah, it just looks Guardian-y, almost Star Wars-y, like just sci-fi in that nature, like somewhere off world where a lot of these characters are like Earth based. So I don't know if that was just because it looked cool to draw it that way, but like Kate Bishop, you know, it's hard for me to picture her going out in space just because she seems like a lot more grounded of a character. Um, but hey, Hawkeye did it.
He did do it, actually. Yeah, it's a good point. If it's not a Guardians related, I could see it being like Temple, Doctor Strange style Temple, where they practice the
Like a
mystic
sanctum.
arts.
Yeah,
Something Sanctum related, yeah, because it has those kind of vibes as well. The candles and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll have to see.
for sure. We also get a image of a Mr. Doctor Doom sitting on his throne. I love this image. This is like a phone background to me. This looks so badass. I
Which
really
one?
the one on
The
his throne where he's got like the fur coat.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Oof.
I
Oh my
love it. I mean,
goodness.
the other one, it's a cool shot of just kind of showing like the hierarchy situation. Like he very much is in that royal aesthetic. Yeah, no, I just like the vibe of it. It's like a medieval spin, like the characters, their clothes that are wearing. It's almost like Victorian era, like just like in the past, but not because your ruler's wearing like a metal mask and looking like a sci-fi character. So I just like the clash of it. He's got a young chap um, next to him. Might just be like a halfling. Who knows? But yeah, no, I like that one. But specifically, like just the shot of him alone, I just love that image. It looks so sweet. Doctor Doom is one of the coolest aesthetics in like all comic books to me. Like just the metal mask. It's so phenomenal, and really love the fur on it as opposed to just like a green cloak. I like the fur.
Yeah, I do too. He's got just this, yeah, this very medieval appearance to him, even though he's a supervillain. Yeah, just the hood, the cloak, and the gauntlets and everything. I would totally dress up like this daily if I was allowed to. He just looks so badass. My goodness.
Walking to work like that,
That's right. It's
they'll
weird to
shut you
think
down.
that Robert Downey Jr. is going to be in the suit. This is him. But again, he's good at wearing iron suits, so it's kind of fitting.
He is. Is he good at wearing furs though? We'll find out.
We will find out. This Doctor Doom feels very different from the other Doctor Doom in the other photo. So it makes me wonder: are they like different Doctor Dooms? Are they supposed to be the
Mm.
same?
Yeah. I also though
Curious.
like because it is concept art, I know they do many different versions. Just trying like even the Silver Surfer one. It says like previous version, option 1, option 2. So they just they're trying to solidify ideas when they do art like this. But I mean, speaking of, I love Silver Surfer. That's probably one of my favorite like comic book characters ever. Just the like philosophical nature of what that character is, combined with the really sweet aesthetic, the near infinite power level. Yeah, I just love Silver Surfer, and the fact that we're getting closer to it is getting me so excited. And then obviously they gender swap them, so I'm just yeah interested in seeing this new version and yeah, I just got giddy because I love that character, and we're finally getting close to seeing it again, as opposed to Rise of the Silver Surfer.
And it's interesting too because it obviously looks like it's some Fantastic Four kind of arena or building or something with the flags in the
Yeah, the fours in the
background.
back.
And then I'm assuming that's Reed Richards there with the hair.
Yeah, 100%. He's got the classic like silver, whatever you would call that, graying, aging hair. I
Silvering,
guess you could
aging,
also call it.
going
I
into his
mean, like
50s.
she is in Fantastic Four, right? Or they? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't even know if they put a gender on Silver Surfer. So, um, it would make sense that that's what this image is. But just curious what's going to be building off of that movie. Actually, like get going towards Avengers. If these are supposedly leaked concept arts for those projects, but we're getting them in Fantastic Four. It can only, to me, it just makes it really double down on the fact that it's going to be building onto something. I mean, all of MCU kind of does that, builds upon itself into the next projects. But just for the big ones now, for Avengers, I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you. Uh, speaking of those other projects, we got looks like what Planet Hulk or something like that going on here. Just
Yeah.
all these green guys running around, and Kate Beckinsale as She-Hulk. It looks
Yeah,
like.
Kate Beckett, confirmed casting choice there. That's exciting. Not confirmed for anyone that doesn't can't read through my lies.
Scar's hair looks so much better in this photo. Cause yeah, Scar basically set up the stage. Scar, She-Hulk, and Thor. We're assuming it's She-Hulk, unless it's just his lover on this Planet Hulk scenario. I don't know, but assuming it's the fam jam. Yeah, Scar just looks so much better in this concept art.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, the one time we did see Scar, it looked pretty bad, so it's pretty easy to up that. Um, I'm just again, it's a different type of era aesthetic, maybe I'll say, for lack of a better term. Like how I was mentioning the one image of Doctor Doom and his kind of throne room there, how it just seems like a Victorian era, like something that's very different than our modern era. Again, this looks very medieval agey, sort of, just based on like the buildings. I honestly get like Attack on Titan vibes because it looks like they have a giant wall in the background there, just
Mm-hmm.
surrounding the perimeter. Yeah, it's just cool ideas here, and I never thought I'd be getting this excited for an image with Scar on it, but we'll see what happens. Kate Beckinsale gets me excited.
Yeah. Well, it gives me hope. Gives me hope to see some more Scar action here, and hopefully he's not dying anytime soon.
You might still be dead first. You might get Loki'd at the start of Avengers. We'll
That's
see.
right. That's right.
No
Uh,
more. No more
what do you think about this
resurrections.
one where this guy being chained up here? I have no idea who he is.
Oh yeah. I really don't have any thoughts. Really, like it almost looks like, is this steam coming off of him, or is he getting poured on by something? It's a black and white image, pretty like crude drawing, not in a negative sense, just like for details wise, it's kind of hard to dissect who this is. There's no symbols or colors or anything to really pull from. Um, yeah, no, I really don't know who this is.
Maybe he's a ghost rider and they pour water on him to keep him extinguished.
Ooh, that's an idea. Yeah, it's interesting too how he's kind of like in a pit. It looks
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know, like a foot high or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's just a lot. Like maybe he's down a well. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. It's really not like scratching any knowledge bubbles in the back of my mind that I can pull
Mm-hmm.
from in any means. We got a really sick Wakanda photo. I would imagine this is T'Challa Jr., new
He's
king.
aged quite well in this concept art.
Yeah, he's looking swole underneath that suit. I like the big panther in the back. Just really cool aesthetics. I mean, Wakanda always has like really cool costume designs and everything. So him rocking this suit again with the cape, and they even gave him like, what is it, the it's like a vampire like collar thing. I don't know what the hell you would call that, but it looks pretty sweet.
Just the popped collar kind of
Yeah,
look.
just the pop collar look. I guess
Yeah.
it looks sweet.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It looks super cool. Uh, I'm excited to see what they can really do with Wakanda and Black Panther after their whole Wakanda Forever movie, and not really seeing anything because are we still getting that show?
Um, I believe so.
Yeah. Okay. So,
I can't remember the name of it. Wakanda, was it just called Wakanda Forever? No, that was the
no,
movie.
that was the movie.
Let me do a quick
There's still
peruse here.
Wakanda stuff in the working, so that's good. And well,
Eyes of Wakanda. There
Eyes
you
of
go.
Wakanda. Yeah.
Coming out this year, August 6th, 2025.
I'd like to get just a little bit more information leading up to what's going on with Wakanda and Black Panther, because I don't mind, we get Avengers and maybe they kind of show a little bit of development there with Wakanda and Black Panther, but I don't want it to just be like, oh, here he is, little T'Challa's like all grown up in his 30s. Like, well, I'd like to see a little bit more kind of context here of like
Yeah, for
what's going
sure.
on.
Yeah, I feel like we definitely aren't lacking origin stories in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like we get
Hmm.
so many for every character, and even though we've already gotten one for a Wakanda character, even like kind of a couple like Shuri, as well as kind of like everyone that they introduced actually in those movies, we got a bit of their backstory, whether it's Killmonger and stuff like that. But I'm down. I'm down to see this junior T'Challa just really like not only just becoming the new king, but like living up to this like what his father's legacy was, and yeah, it's gonna be. There's a lot of juice there that we can squeeze out. So I hope we don't just skip over all of that and just, well, this is our new leader, and he's just been the leader for a couple of years. You know, like I'm. We'll get there. Hello, D-Toll. Late, but glad you're here.
I was gonna make a wizard is never late joke, but
But he is.
I bit my tongue
So
and I felt awkward, so I
He is
didn't
a
see
wizard.
it.
And here we are dissecting your awkward biting of the tongue.
I guess our last pick is the Mrs. Ultron.
Yeah,
going on
or
here.
Ultra.
This, I've Ultra. That's good. I've never watched it all the way through. Maybe I have. I
You've never seen Age of Ultron?
Never. But I'm on the review. The movie Species. You know that old '90s one with the actor Otto Octavius was in there.
1995 film. Okay.
3 of them, and the first one, it's just they send a message out in the space, and a message comes back on how to, like, with alien DNA or whatever. So they take the alien DNA, mix it with a human, and they create this woman, and she basically, her plan is to go out. She escapes in a lab, and her plan is to go out and mate, and then spread offspring. They're all like parasitic, like xenos and stuff like that. When I look at this just makes me immediately think of that design of just the alien woman.
I'm looking at it right here.
Have you never seen the movie before?
I've never seen this at all. Man, they gave her some nipples on this too. This is,
it's
is
definitely
gnarly.
very, very 90s, very 90s.
It actually is pretty. Like, it's not a stretch to see the similarities to the female Ultron and this creature. That's terrifying. Good movies? You like them?
I think the first one was okay.
Yeah.
Because it's got the guy who, I can't remember his name. He played Otto Octavius. It's
Alfred
got the
Molina.
Alfred Molina, thank you. It's got the guy who was the foster father in Free Willy to Jesse. So that's a deep pull, but that's about it. I don't know anyone
Like
else.
Michael Madsen, that guy.
Is that his name?
Tarantino movies. Michael Madsen. You got Ben Kingsley
That is.
here.
Where'd
Forrest Whitaker.
you just whip that name out? I did not realize that he was. Oh my God! Yeah, Forrest Whitaker. That's right. So it's got a stacked cast. Michael Madsen. Holy shit! I always knew him as the foster dad from Free Willy.
You're probably one on people who would like refer to Michael Madsen for that movie. Like, you got all these great Tarantino performances. No, the dad from Free Willy.
The dad from Free Willy. Yeah.
That's
Oh
funny.
my gosh.
Forrest Whitaker, man.
Cool.
Man, it's hard for me to see past Forrest Whitaker. Like, I've seen him so many things, but now it's just his character from, like, Andor, season 2 trailer.
Deceptions.
Rogue One. The way that he talks, too, it's very memorable. But anyways.
Cool. Well, anything you want to add to Ultra?
Ultra, no, I don't think so. I like the idea of Ultron as a character. I didn't really love the usage of him in Age of Ultron. Just the oh my God, I can't remember his name now. James Spader, something like that. The actor that did the voice for it. I've just seen him way too many times in The Office. So, like, every time he talked, I just picture Robert California and his, like, weird quotes that he would have, and just brought the character down for me. However, What If made that character, like, so high up on my fan list of just, like, the power level of him. So I'm kind of in a weird in-between era, but I'm not giving up on the idea of what that character is. So I am open to seeing a different version of it. And yeah, gender swap, baby. Let's go. Curious who they would cast if they do that. And it seems like a very normal thing for them to want to do, especially if we're just getting into the Secret Wars of different variants or different versions of characters from different universes. Obviously, we're getting like a different version of Silver Surfer. We're getting, who knows, whether it's Tony Stark as Doctor Doom or if it's just Victor Von Doom played by Robert Downey Jr. Who knows? But I'm excited for just the mixture of who we're going to be seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some cool images here to kind of break down. So I liked what I see for the most part.
It'd be weird if it was like if Ultra was a creation of Doctor Doom this time around, and coincidentally Doctor Doom is Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, yeah.
So just be a weird thing.
It could happen. I don't want that to happen though.
No. Cool. Anything else you want to sneak in there for Avengers?
For Avengers, no, I'm gonna hold my breath. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, on that note, we're going to take a clean ad break at the 30-minute mark here. We'll be right back.
Thanks for the timestamp, Taylor. That's good.
You're welcome. So our next wonderful topic is in a galaxy far, far away. I cannot wait to get into this. Kirkland, are you looking forward to what we're about to talk about?
I am so excited and curious about what we're going to talk about. I know like the heavy hitter, the main name, I guess, on what we're about to talk about, but I know nothing further. So inform me and the listeners.
I'm gonna blow your minds here. So there's some B tier scoops that just dropped, and this is basically touching back on the topic of Ryan Gosling popping up in a Star Wars movie. We were discussing this a few newscasts ago, and the concept basically for this is that it's going to be set 5 to 6 years after Episode 9. Ryan Gosling's Star Wars movie will star him and a young male Padawan. He is possibly playing a Jedi, and that there is going to be a male villain in the film. There are supposed to be like 4 major female roles that they're casting for, but roughly this is kind of just the scoop as of now. So I want to get your thoughts because I mean, you're a big Ryan Gosling fan.
Absolutely. Yeah. He
Mm-hmm.
almost never misses. Yeah, I really do love Ryan Gosling and he's fantastic. I I've seen him in dramatic roles. I think I prefer him in comedy roles. I just think it's more on my wavelength. His humor, like it just gets me more. Like he is great in drama roles as well, but I just love him for his comedic chops. It's weird seeing him tie to something like Star Wars because it is just such a big IP, and it like an extreme example on the negative side would be comparing it to something like how we got Jack Black in Star Wars. And
Right.
I love Jack Black. I love Star Wars, but it's like the two of them together, it's just something takes me out of the immersion, I think, of that world. We have had obviously like famous actors in Star Wars. I just think there is certain actors that take me out of that immersion more than others, and Ryan Gosling is very much that for me because he's Ryan Gosling, man. Like it's gonna be hard for me not to picture him in these other projects that I've seen, whether it's Barbie, Remember the Titans. You know, I'm a big defender of that movie. I fucking love Remember the Titans. What else do we got? We got what's the love one that he's in with Steve Carell?
Oh, Crazy Stupid Love.
Crazy Stupid Love. Like I love all these projects. Notebook, I guess, is another class. I was trying to go for niche ones, but I kind of failed because I started with Barbie. But yeah, I don't know. It's just the idea of him in this world. I guess I kind of had that with Jude Law, and he did surprise me. I actually really liked him in that role, and I actually didn't just see him as Jude Law. I really liked him in that role. So yeah, I think initially I'm a little bit standoffish. However, I have been proven in the past that big actors can hit me with the immersion, but then there's the Lizzo and Jack Black combo that really didn't do it for me. So I'll try not to judge it until I see it. It is a B tier scooper. It's not confirmed or anything like that, but yeah, I'm open to try it, but I'm still a little bit standoffish. And just what you pitched with him potentially having was it like his Padawan? Is sorry, I missed a
That I don't know exactly.
just him
I
and a
just
young
think-
Padawan.
I'm just gonna say a
Yeah.
Padawan.
So him and a Padawan, I guess they could always do the thing that like, well, he is actually a villain character. I don't really want that. He's a good actor. I'm sure he could do it, but it's because I align with his comedy side so much more. I think I would just prefer him in either a scoundrel or a more jovial type position as opposed to like him being a menace. But we'll wait and see. You know, it could be impressive. But yeah, I like the hot goss. He's good stuff.
Hot goss. Yeah, I think you landed that right on the head of the nail. Him in a Star Wars movie, he's got that face, that recognizable face, and you're right. Jude Law was the same scenario, but with him popping off a skeleton crew, you can really detach him from being Jude Law and embrace him as this character, and I love that about Jude Law. He does it so well. So I'm holding on to hope that that's going to be the same case when it comes to Ryan Gosling. The idea that he could be a smuggler or a scoundrel and he just has a Jedi that's teamed up with him, a young Padawan. I really like that idea. I think that's a lot of fun. It makes me wonder what the context would be, because if we're talking 5-6 years after Episode 9, the only Jedi Master is Rey Skywalker.
Mm.
There's no other Jedi. Maybe obviously Finn, but we don't really know what happens with Finn after this point in time. There's not really any comics or narratives that really describe what goes on there, so we can kind of keep him excluded from this kind of narrative for now and just look at, okay, what is Rey doing? Is she going off training a new Jedi? I'm assuming she is, because she's got the sacred texts and she's got the teachings, and she has a little bit of knowledge and insight as to what she's doing, having defeated the Sith and faced off and redeemed Kylo Ren and so much more, and trained under Leia. So there's a lot that she has to go off and start the new Jedi Order with. So if she's like, I don't think she's going off and taking kids when they're like 2 or 3 before they experience emotions and taking
She's
them
just
in,
kidnapping children. At
just
this point,
kidnapping children. Yeah, it wouldn't work, because if this is 5 to 6 years after, those kids with the Padawans are gonna be like 8 years old. So then, what kind of a movie are we doing? Are we doing an 8-year-old Padawan teamed up with a scoundrel, a smuggler, or is Ryan Gosling a Jedi Master? Well, that doesn't work, because then where did this other Jedi Master come from? Because it's 5 or 6 years after Rise of Skywalker, and then we get this whole thing. Well, if he is a Jedi Master, then are we doing the thing that Travis hates, where it's like, oh, Luke was not the only Jedi. There's actually 20 other Jedi Masters alive at the same time. So it gets a bit murky and convoluted. So I hope that they tread lightly and they play this well. Like I said, I would love it if Ryan Gosling was a scoundrel or something. I think he could play that role really, really well. He could do it well. His face in the robes of a Jedi, I can't picture it. I just wouldn't be able to take him seriously. So
yeah, I agree.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna quickly add initial thoughts. I feel like they are gonna go the route of like, well, there was more out there, you know, like you thought you were alone, but there was more. And I'm not like super against or super for that idea. I just don't want it to always be the cop out answer that there was more out there. Like I'm okay with like, oh no, there actually was more out there that just completely shut themselves off from the Force, or like some reasoning like that. There's some great stories of that kind of happening already established, but I just don't want that to be like the easy get out of jail free card, you know, where it's, oh well, we didn't really have to tie in why this character or what they were doing around that era, because they were just in hiding, or maybe they're just really far away and they're out of the imperial galactic event. Like it just just messy.
And I mean, it is. And I mean, we can definitely look and see how there are Force users out there like Grogu, who's opted out from being a Jedi. Maybe there's other Padawans that survived Kylo Ren's assault on the Jedi Temple that Luke built, and they'll swing that in. But all I know is just you have Snoke saying like, "Oh, the Last Jedi, Luke Skywalker," and so forth and whatnot. So they've set themselves up already, and if they kind of revoke a little bit of that, it does get messy, and I don't really like it. Now, I am very curious what they're going to do for a male villain in this film. I can't imagine they're touching Sith at all. I don't think that's even going to be a thing. I don't think we're going to see a dark side user or anything like that. I reckon you're just going to get a young Padawan dealing with, pirates or something like that. And that being said, sure, that's okay. But as much as Acolyte has its own problems, I know people are not overly fond of that show. God damn, seeing Chimere face off against like 5 Jedi and just cleanly just take them down was one of the smoothest, slickest things in Star Wars in a long time. And I would really like to have a little bit more of that, with more Sith and more Jedi facing off. It should not be that hard to do something like that, for fuck's sakes. But I think though, hopefully whatever they do, and why they're casting 4 major female roles, it's curious as well. I wonder what they're thinking, what's gonna be like. Maybe it's like a Van Helsing thing we were talking about, where we got the vampire Dracula and he's got his 3 wives, 3 major female roles.
That would be anything close to Van Helsing. I'm down. Let's get a Van Helsing mix up with Star Wars. I am intrigued by who they're gonna do for a villain. I feel like it's gonna be some sort of imperial, like, loyalist guy who's just because we've gotten that before, and it seems like the Empire is just such a big thing that for it to just be completely wiped out because of like a big event, I feel like it's a lot more believable that the main pillar's broken down, but then like the rubble, like they're still loyalists to that idea of what the Empire is. So I feel like that's a pretty easy, whether you like it or not, I just feel like it's an easy explanation where like, no, there was
Wouldn't it just be
actually,
like a repeat though? Because they did that with the First
yeah,
Order.
yeah, no, you're right. It, it, it's just like the scale of these galactic events. It's hard for like my mind to even wrap around, just because where we're living right now, we're only on Earth, but like they have different systems, they have different, like, not even just different planets, but like different systems and different like just, yeah, like the scale of everything. That's where it's honestly more believable that there is many other factions out there that are still
Mhm.
loyal to the Empire. And I feel like it's a harder pill to swallow for myself, that it's like, no, they're just completely wiped out and everybody's good now because the Empire's
Mhm.
over. So yes, it's easy to follow that same trend of been there, done that, because of like what you just said, that we have had that already with the First Order, um, and even like Mando, right? Like there's other stuff that isn't necessarily. Were they First Order in Mando, or is it just like an offshoot?
Those are Imperial remnants. So that's pre
Yeah.
First Order.
Oh right, I have my errors all wrong here. But anyways, like many different sub factions and just power hungry. Like what the I never remember. Is Moff? Is that their title?
Moffs, yeah.
Yeah, like there's just those types of chaps out there that are nefarious and want just power. Like I just feel like there's next to infinite amount of those, and even if they're not affiliated with the Empire or anything like that, I feel like it could fit a similar type of role of like a general. Just yeah, and it could be a pirate general. Who knows? And yeah, I do want to see something new, but I also feel like that is the easiest one to pull from. But who knows? Maybe we're gonna be completely wrong, and it is something completely new that we haven't seen before, like just an interesting new alien villain that has different motives, almost like a your blue dude. What's his name?
Oh, yeah, the Cad Bane.
Oh no, I was talking about the other one.
Oh, Thrawn.
Thrawn.
Oh,
We've already seen Thrawn, but like just that type of character, where he's a lot more deep of, like, it's not just the classic Imperial motives. Like there is more underneath the surface.
mm-hmm.
That just makes an interesting character, not even just a villain. But there's
It
many
sure
things they can
does.
do. It's a big galaxy.
I would love it if they just brought back the Nemoidians, the Trade Federation. Just they rise to power, get their
Oh, the
big like
Nemodians. Yeah.
those. That was one of the favorite things that I from seeing that Star Wars Eclipse trailer. When you see those, it's like it's a Lucre Hulk class ship. That was like it's the orb and it has like the ring around it. The thing Anakin blows up when
Oh
he's a
yeah.
kid. Just get a few of those in there too. That would just be just prequel heavy. Bank on the prequels again, and I would just sucker in a lot of fans. I'm sure.
That'd be sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down.
But I mean, there's so much Legends content that they could really source from if they wanted to tackle more into this post episode 9 era. And the Ryan Gosling movie, pretty sure that's separate from the Ray movie because the Ray movie that's her own thing that she's doing, but I'm getting so convoluted with all these projects. It's getting tricky kind of keep up with them because they've announced so many and they keep canceling so many. But on that note of announcements, we got the Star Wars Celebration schedule for 2025. It'll be taking place April. And basically, we got Mandalorian and Grogu. That'll be on the Friday morning. Actually, sorry, let me get the specific dates here because I just got what's happening over the weekend. So it is taking place April 18th to 20th, and this is in Japan.
Nice.
So we have that Friday morning we have the Mandalorian and Grogu, and we know I believe that they've wrapped up a few things with that movie, and so I think that they're in editing mode right now. We got Andor season 2 on Saturday morning, Ahsoka on Saturday afternoon, and Star Wars Visions Volume 3 on the Sunday. So
Okay.
that's what they've announced the panels for, and there's going to be other things sprinkled there in between, I'm sure. But me and Travis are talking about how, depending whether or not Kathleen Kennedy is out the door based on the recent discussions prior this couple weeks ago. Uh, they might not want to announce a lot as she's leaving. They might want to save some of those announcements and just have her end her career with, Mandalorian and Grogu and Andor season 2, and then hey,
Mm-hmm.
oh, we got new leadership in taking over. Here's a whole bunch of new projects coming in with this person, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. So this Star Wars Celebrate is it's not an every year thing, right? Like the last one you and Travis covered,
Skips. Yeah, that was
and that was in
2023.
Europe, right? It was in London or something.
Yeah, because we were up at like 3 a.m.
It was
watching
the
it.
wee hours. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember at work the next day I was listening to it, and you guys were energized. It was good. There were some great announcements, some things that we'll probably never see, which is unfortunate how that aged a little bit poorly. But like that was when they announced the Ray movie, and they had like the different just types of projects that were like talked about, whether it was like the different eras,
Yeah.
like the old Republic era stuff, um, and it was just a really enticing thing. So it's sad and funny to look back on it. It's like, you know, back then we probably thought we would have some of those projects out or or some more details and whatnot. But I mean, yeah, I don't really know what to expect from it. Like you did mention the things that seem like safe announcements. I don't think it'll be anything too crazy, especially what you guys kind of mentioned around Kathleen's on her way out. It and like it doesn't have to be just wrapped around her departure that they'd be holding on to things, but it just seems like also just me as the fan that doesn't trust anything that they say right now when it comes to announcements. It's like, let's not get too crazy. Let's just release a project and then we can get excited on just one project at a time. Let's not do the whole slate thing and overpromise, underdeliver, because that just that just leaves a salty taste in my mouth and many others.
Really does. Really, really does. And they've done that with so many movies now because we don't know where that mangled Dawn of the Jedi movie is at right now. And yeah, they had to delay the Rey movie a little bit more. And Mandalorian and Grogu's not out till next year. I'm hoping that we get a trailer or something juicy.
I'm sure we
Um,
will. Even just
I'm
a
sure we
teaser
will.
or something if it's about a year out. If they don't, that would be extremely concerning and disappointing, but I'm sure they'll
Yeah.
scrounge something together.
Yeah. And then with Andor season 2, because it'll be popping off a few days after, and so I'm sure they'll bring the cast
Mhm.
out on stage and talk about
Hell
Andor. And then
yeah.
Ahsoka, I'm looking forward to that because we know that the first season ended on such a big cliffhanger, and they've been little bits of rumors with season 2. Uh, so I'm excited to see what kind of cements out of that and what they're going to show. I mean, they haven't done anything on this project aside from I think just some castings, so I don't know what it's going to entail if they show, hey, here's some of our concept art, and then show off
Mhm.
some things and ideas. I don't know, but I would love it if we could just get a little bit more concrete information on what's going on with that season. Because I think you should. I know you haven't watched season 1 yet of Ahsoka, but you really should.
Yeah.
It's freaking awesome, and I'm biased, so. Uh,
I do want to, especially because they do touch on Thrawn stuff, right? And that's just such
mhm.
a mystery factor for me. I know he's juicy, I know he's blue, I know he's red eyes, but
You get
yeah.
lightsaber battles, which is
Oh
always
fuck yeah,
nice.
let's go.
Uh, and Star Wars Visions. You're a big fan of the
I love
Visions.
Visions. Yeah, Visions is great.
Mm-hmm.
So and then yeah, it's in Japan. I know a lot of the artists for that like the Visions because they handed them over to different studios. I knew some of them were from Japan, so I imagine they got some spicy stuff going on. I feel like that's the animated hub of the world is in Japan, so I'm hoping for some juice there. But yeah, I'm sure like the fans there are gonna be eating it up. I just feel like the Japanese people are just so into the Star Wars stuff, so I'm sure they'll be hyped up and yeah, crazy time change though. Are you guys committing to the wee hour monitoring?
Um, that's a good
Depends what's going
question,
on.
actually, because if I am correct, I think, I want to say that it's our Easter weekend,
Hmm.
April, yeah, April
18th to the
18th is
20th.
Good Friday, and so Easter is that whole weekend. So, I will get back because I'm out of town for that whole week, and I come back on the 18th. I'll be back very late on the 18th, so I'll probably be missing whatever. Well, no, if the time changes there, maybe.
Aren't they like a day ahead of us? So is it like 18th?
So it would all be on the 17th then, right? Because it would be ahead of time.
I don't know. I'm
I
going to
don't know
Japan.
either.
I haven't practiced the time change.
You'll have to teach us when you get back.
Yeah.
Uh,
You have to teach
so
me
yeah,
because this is happening before I'm going, so you'll know all about it.
that's right. That's right. Yeah. So stuff to look forward to. Lots of Star Wars stuff popping off right now, believe it or not. So it'll be interesting to see with Andor coming up. I'm very excited for that. The trailer and the
Oh
sizzle
yeah,
reels they've been dropping are just so juicy. Oh my god.
that is Star Wars. I'll always love it, even if it's like atrocious. I always got my Star Wars Legends. I always have like my projects that have already been released, video games and such like that. But it's hard to get really excited for things coming up. But man, Andor, that first season that's peak cinema for me. Like I fucking love that show so much. So I'm big expectations going to season 2, and I really hope that they deliver.
Yeah. Well
And
said.
we'll find out about Andy Serkis's character, maybe.
Yeah. Did he make it? Did he?
He's still
swim?
swimming? No,
He's still swimming.
he's at the bottom of the ocean, probably.
Cool. We're gonna take another ad break here, and we'll be right back.
The 51-minute mark.
51-minute mark. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. So, we're gonna be stepping over into the Secret Service of
Ooh.
James Bond. So there's a whole fiasco going on with the rights and everything. It's been absolute chaos and mayhem. And so it looks like here we go. We got Amazon basically leading the charge with this. Now, their top choice for Bond, not the actor, but basically helming the project, Christopher Nolan. And it seems like there's mutual interest actually involved here. The thing is, though, there's another huge project that is basically occupying Nolan's time right now called The Odyssey. And we all have seen the cast list for that. It's through the roof. So what happens here? Do you think like Nolan makes the time? Will it happen? Is it going to be like after the Odyssey? Is Amazon going to wait for Nolan's schedule to free up? Are they going to get someone else? What do you think is the itinerary of events here?
Yeah, I don't really know the I don't want to say believability because I do believe that he is their top choice for that. Maybe just like the actuality of it happening in my mind. I would say well, first of all, I'm totally down for the pairing. I love Christopher Nolan. He's probably my favorite director, if not top 3 for sure. I just love his projects. He's just so great at telling these like big, vast, big idea type stories. A lot of action, a lot of his projects, a lot of just drama and twists and whatnot. And I feel like that's just ripe for a James Bond project. I especially just like coming off of Tenet, it seemed like he always wanted to do a James Bond project, so that was kind of his version of it with his own, Nolan weird time stuff going on in there. But for him to actually do it, I'm sure he's a massive fan of the Bond franchise, so I'm sure it would be a big passion project for him, and I think that he would do an incredible job. I think all of his films are great, if not amazing. So yeah, that's kind of my own personal biases of how I would feel about the project, but in terms of it actually happening and how it would happen, I think it would just come after. I don't think there's a big rush to get these Bond projects out. Maybe I'm misunderstood in that, but and maybe because it's transitioning over to Amazon's hands versus the Veggie Tales over at the Broccoli Family, whatever those characters are, but I think that they would. Yeah, I don't know. I'm I'm kind of in a weird spot here because I feel like my initial thoughts is they would want to wait and do it properly, but it's also Amazon that is just a money farm, and they just want to push out projects and make money 24/7. So maybe they would rush it, and maybe that would deter the quality of it. So yeah, I'm pretty unsure. I'm pretty neutral. I think on this overall, other than just the fact of having Nolan in there would be exciting for me. But I just think it would come after Odyssey. And if it is the number one choice and like we really want Nolan to do it, then I would say they would just wait until Odyssey is over. But it seems like we've already seems like they're deep in that project already. Maybe I'm misunderstood in believing that, but I don't think it would be too far down the road. And I just feel like Nolan's such a fucking busy guy. Like is like last projects come out, I'm like, man, he's gonna chill for a while. And it's like, no, he's got Odyssey coming out with all like every actor known to man in this project. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, this guy just doesn't fucking sleep. But I don't know. He's kind of in the prime of his life right now, so just keep squeezing him out, Nolan.
Yeah, he his just dedication to just going like movie to movie to movie is crazy, and he's got a pretty consistent track record of every like 3 to 4 years. Even I guess two, because he did. Let's see, like The Prestige 2006, The Dark Knight 2008, Inception 2010, Dark Knight Rises 2012, Interstellar 2014. 3 years later, he's done Dunkirk. 3 years later, he does Tenet. 3 years later, he does Oppenheimer. And now 3 years later, 2026, July 17th, he's gonna have the Odyssey. So I said 4 years. No, it's 2 to 3 really. That's crazy. So that would mean then after, I'm assuming 2026, we could see a James Bond project moving forward at Amazon with his schedule kind of clearing up.
Yeah.
So, well, no, yeah, release wise, I'd say after 2026, but I'm sure maybe even throughout 2026, he could start working on it, or there could be discussions, there could be writings and script conversations and whatnot unfolding. It's funny because it seems like a lot of directors have kind of dropped off the map a little bit when it was unveiled that Amazon is in control and kind of took over the mantle here. The Longlegs director, 'cause he was basically, there was a Reddit AMA that was happening, and he was asked, Osgood Perkins is his name. He was asked, are you open to directing a Bond movie or trilogy? If so, who would you cast as your version of Bond? And he immediately responded and said, no, because fuck Jeff Bezos. So, really,
Wait, Nolan said that?
No, no, the Longlegs director.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm like, okay, never mind then. I don't think Nolan's gonna do it.
Yeah, latest development, just shits all over him. Yeah. So they were pitching it around. I guess just a lot of other directors just kind of like, they're like, no, we're no longer excited about the idea of helming a 007 movie. Did I say Detal Bezos? Am I saying that wrong? Bezos? How do you say it, Kirkland?
Bezos? I think Bezos is how I say it, but I've heard Bezos.
Oh, so maybe he's laughing. He's
tomato.
mocking me. He's laughing because
Yeah.
he's typing in how I said it. Bezos.
Yeah, you said Bezos. I think most people say Jeff Bezos.
Bezos, yeah.
I think that's, how do you mostly hear it? Do you normally hear it Bezos, or you just
I
don't
hear
hear it
I hear Bezos, but I
Yeah.
say I panicked
Yeah.
and I just said Bezos.
We're Canadian, that's how we talk. We say
That's how we
Bezos.
talk. Say Donofrio.
We're Southern Canadian. Yeah, Donofrio, Jennifer Connelly, whatever the hell you called her.
That's right. I told Madison that after we watched Top Gun Maverick the other day, and she was laughing.
Oh, you watched the other night? Man, I
Watched it the other
rewatched that
night.
too. Fuck, I love that movie so much. Just
I hadn't
the
seen it
end
since
mission.
theaters.
Oh my gosh, man, you're missing out. Yeah, that end, like the mission, just gets me going. Oh, just want to go join the Air Force. when I watch
Join.
that.
Yeah.
Put me in the F-18, man. I'm ready. I played Flight Simulator.
5th gen fighters. But yeah, so I don't think I have anything else to add. Just I think Nolan doing a James Bond project would be absolutely fantastic.
There you go. He's always like, is that Canadian or just different pronunciation? Bit of both. Okay, we're different up here.
It's my lack thereof. I don't know, classiness. I'm
It's your own
ill-informed.
flair. It's your own
My own
signature. To
flair.
it,
Yeah, that's right.
Fuck Jeff Bezos. It also sounds funnier if I'm picturing the Longlegs director saying that.
Perkins, yeah. Anything else you have to add on to that, or should we move to our trailer discussions?
I'm honestly more intrigued on who they cast as Bond, more so than the director of the project, just because, I mean, directors do most of the work, but in my mind, the character is the James Bond, so I'm just really intrigued on who that is, and obviously massive Daniel Craig fan, but thinking back on it of just kind of where his career was before he was cast as James Bond, like he was nowhere near the level that he is now. Obviously James Bond was a big part of that, but yeah, it can be a role that really makes people's careers. So hopefully they find some juicy young talent in there. Would you want a younger actor,
Well,
or
I'm
we
just
just have a
thinking.
54-year-old James Bond who's just like crusty around the
Well, I
eyes?
mean, how many new actors does Nolan really
He knows every actor in the
incorporate?
world, okay, and they're all in
He knows every
Odyssey. So
actor.
he's just gonna he's on the set of Odyssey. He's like, hey, you wanna be James Bond?
Yeah,
That's
the
what he's cooking
Odyssey
up
is
now.
my
Tom Holland.
audition for
That's who it's
James
gonna be.
Bond. Yeah, Tom
Yeah.
Holland. uh, I don't know. Like, I feel like he'll go with someone. No, because I don't know how much say it's really gonna have with the project. With you have the other three kind of like so closely attached to the hip to their Bond franchise. So
Hmm.
I think you'll probably get a new unknown kind of person who will be up and coming. And then I think Christopher Nolan, though, if he had his say, he would probably be like, you know what, let's get someone that I've worked with before. Let's get Christian Bale in there as as James Bond or
It's
something.
James Bond.
Yeah,
Christian Bale. There you
that's
go.
right.
The twilight of his career. I don't know if that's harsh. He's still great. You know,
Yeah.
he's still cooking.
Um,
We can move on.
move on. Cool. Okay. So our first trailer teaser, I guess, not trailer teaser, Alien Earth. So they did at the Oscars. They did a quick little sizzle reel where they showed a couple new shots, and they showed the infamous xenomorph, basically just hovering over a dude, ready to just go to town on him. And then that's right. They showed an extended other alternate kind of like marketing teaser thing. It was like 3 minutes long, and it's basically you see some of the crew members, and the crew attaches a camera to their cat, and so the cats run around. It's the cat's perspective running through the ship, and you just see through their lens, basically the camera. I thought it was great, and I absolutely would take like a longer project of a cat, just their perspective running through a ship and just seeing the alien running around. All you see though is just the crew going through some hardships, talking and everything like that. And I believe this is the ship that's supposed to crash land on Earth for the series, but the cats run around. You see that I feel like they're up to no good because there's vat canisters. I think they're the same canisters that have like facehuggers in them and whatnot. So I think that this is whatever's going on here. This ship is obviously it's the one that crash lands on Earth, and then we get a xenomorph running around on Earth. Yeah. What do you think of all this so far?
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited for this project. I'm a sucker for Alien. You know, we did the retro Alien Covenant was such a fun time. Wait, not Covenant, Romulus. There you go.
Yeah.
Covenant was a fun time, but not as fun of a time as Romulus. But yeah, I love the world of Alien. I love the Xenomorph. I love so many aspects to it. So I'm very excited for this project. I didn't love this trailer like at all, really. It was I feel like also I was like I didn't have like a good copy of the trailer for some reason. It was just really fuzzy. Plus it's like the iPhone type of perspective because it's like a camera on the cat. And I was watching it on my TV. So I got like the big fucking flat screen TV and I'm just watching this like tiny little thing and a lot of shaky cam stuff. I thought it was okay. Mostly just like I think the thing I got the most out of it is like we're getting closer to this project and this project is real. Okay, sweet. I'm good. But wasn't too keen on the trailer itself. But it's not really a trailer, so it's kind of hard for me to judge in that sense. Just like I guess the marketing ploy of what it was, for lack of a better term. But yeah, super excited. Just like when I hear like the noises of the ship and everything, and just like those familiar tones that are from like that original Alien. Original Alien is one of my favorite movies of all time, so I'm just such a sucker and biases towards that. So really excited for the project. Wasn't a big fan of this, but I really don't need anything to sell me on this. I'm going to be there day one no matter what.
Yeah. On that note, are you more excited for this or for Badlands? Dalton Delar says.
This is the Predator project, right? Predator
Yes.
Badlands.
Yes.
It's a good question. I really love both universes and both. Yeah, I guess it's kind of the same universe, thanks to aliens versus predators. I am excited for both. I'm probably more excited for Badlands, and that's just because of I didn't love this trailer. But ask me on a Wednesday, maybe I'm the other way around. That's just how like split down the middle I kind of am. So sorry for not answering the question directly, but yeah, I think I'm gonna say Badlands right now, just because I think the idea of what that Predator project might be is really enticing to me. I personally like Prey more than Romulus, even though Romulus was great. But just yeah, no, I'm juiced up for some good Predator action.
Mm-hmm.
But also Xenomorph action. They're both great. So I don't know.
I've heard tell that Badlands will be from the Predator's perspective. I can't remember if that's
I'm
an
fucking down,
official
man. I'm
confirmation
down.
or
Let's
what.
go.
Oh yeah, that's just. I think that they've learned a lot of rights and wrongs with this franchise, and they're gonna do something really, really spot on with this movie. And so I'm definitely more excited for that project than I am for Alien Earth. Just, and I think too, I've already gotten Alien content within the last 265 days.
I think
That
that's
was
it too.
Romulus.
Yeah, for me.
So just taking a bit of a breather between that and just getting more Predator, I'm totally all for it. Between the two, I just wanted to reference something here because Fede Alvarez, he was in an interview and they were talking to him about Alien versus Predator. I'm gonna quote what he says here because I think this is hype. The way I would do it, most likely, if it could be done this way, it's hard to keep secrets online. The best AVP will be the one that you don't know is AVP until the other guy shows up. You think you're watching a Predator movie, and then they land in some place and they're creatures, and fucking hell, it's a xenomorph. That would get me. Fuck yeah, you go crazy. Or vice versa. You're in an alien movie, and suddenly a mysterious creature is there, and you can hear that sound, and you see the cloak, and you go, is that a fucking Predator? And it turns out it is. That'd be the way to do it, don't you think? Once you put
Chills.
Fuck, that scared me. Oh, but yeah, I couldn't agree more. That would be the way to do it. That'd be so sick.
Oh yeah.
So
That would be
I like
so hard to hide,
Oh.
though. So hard to hide with like how easily leaks get out there these days. But
I
completely
know.
agree. That would be the way to do it, and I'd be the Rock. Just
Chills.
fucking chills. Yeah.
But you-
Chills.
sounds painful. God damn. Oh. Yeah. So again, I'll be there day one, like you said. Alien
Yeah.
is Alien, and I love me some Alien.
yeah.
How do you feel about going back to the Poohniverse here? Were you there for the Winnie the Pooh movies? I can't remember.
No, I'm sorry to play the cop on it. I didn't watch this trailer. I am so not interested in the Poohniverse, and I didn't really think of that. That's how Travis spelt it. I didn't say it out loud until now. The Poohniverse, but it's kind of funny. But sell me, Taylor. Why should I jump in here? I've heard they're all terrible.
If they hire me to do marketing, I would do a shit job because I don't know how to, I don't know how to sell this movie. This trailer, what's pulling me out is the CGI. I could get on board with the Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 1 and 2 because it's a little bit more practical, but just Bambi, I'll give Bambi merit here. It looks like a Wendigo, sorry, just terrifying deer antler demon thing, like absolutely freaky beyond compare. But it's not. I don't know. It just has the bad acting and all that. I mean, that's the corniness, the cheesiness that these movies have. But this isn't going to be the one that's going to be the all time like, oh, I'm super super high off this movie. I'm going to be more or less looking forward to what's coming from this and seeing this team up with Winnie the Pooh characters, Peter Pan, with all these other horror icons. So yeah, detail the Poohniverse as well. I couldn't agree more. It really, really is absolute insanity. So the fallout of this, that's what I'm more excited for. But I don't blame you for skipping it.
I just skimmed it quickly to kind of get an idea. Yeah, CGI is pretty rough, but I
It
think
is
the only
rough.
time I would watch these projects is if it's like I'm in a friend group setting. Like I'm never gonna put these on alone or anything like that. So yeah, I
No,
missed
you
out
won't
on the
feel
watch
good.
along, and that was I think that was my entry point. So I'm just kind of out of it now.
This is one of those movies where if it's like a Saturday and you wake up and you want to put on a movie at like 8 a.m. and you put this on, your whole day is fucking ruined. You're gonna have a shit day.
Yeah,
afterwards.
no, that's
You're gonna
not what I
finish
wanna
the
do.
Movie. No, It's not.
My days off are few and far between these days, Taylor. I'm not gonna try and ruin my fucking Saturday by putting this on. I'm already putting on Van Helsing or something, you know. So some good
There you go.
projects. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Next we
trailer.
have next trailer. Yeah, Gunslingers. So, what did you think about this one? Because this one caught me off guard.
Yeah, I think I got excited about this one when I just saw Nick Cage on the thumbnail. It's like, fuck, another Nick Cage project. Let's go. I was pretty disappointed by the trailer overall, honestly. Shay made the observation, which I completely agree with. It seems like a very small set that they're on. Like, it seems like they not reshot, but like kept re-showing like the same area of the town, and it just made it feel very like small, and like they're on just like the one set that they have available. Obviously, there's like carriage chases, but a lot of the time when they're in like air quote town, it just seems like it's like the one shot in front of the saloon, and that's kind of it. Everything about this was pretty bland or lackluster for me, other than Nick Cage. I think I'm not going to be racing out in the theaters to watch this by any means, unless I hear like great word of mouth about Cage's performance. But even then, I don't think I would go and see this in the theaters for me personally. He just seems like he's playing a wacky character, which he usually is in most projects. But I just wasn't expecting the accent at all, so I think I'm somewhat intrigued by that. But everything else about this just felt pretty, lackluster, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I love a good Western movie, coming off of several Western projects, but this I was not expecting this. I just saw, okay, when I typed it in, Nick Cage, I thought, okay, this is great. Yeah, let's see what this is. And the trailer, I'll just present it here because I gotta share it.
Okay.
So you just get, I don't know if you can hear it. Can you hear anything? Could you hear anything? That's okay. It's okay. You get these shots of Nick Cage, and he's just like, he's not saying anything, and other people are talking. And the movie looks very much like a 2005 movie made in 2025.
Yeah, no,
weird
very
aesthetic.
much. The filter that they have on the screen, it was taking me out of it.
Oh yeah. And there's another shot of Nick Cage holding the camera. He's not saying anything yet. And the story, I'm intrigued by it. And he's just, Nick Cage is doing some weird things. And like he's changed as an actor, because he, back when he started off, he was fantastic, doing some crazy drama roles and everything like that. Then he went sideways and started doing all this crazy shit, Willy's Wonderland and all that stuff. Then he, Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent was fantastic, and he's coming back and doing some really fantastic roles. And this just feels like he's doing one of his zany, weird ones again. And I really like it, because the first thing he says in this trailer, hence my nickname, is "Praise the Lord!" And it's so loud, and he's just got this weird fucking accent. I can't pinpoint.
He's
what
got like
it
the
is.
crosses as his glasses too. Like, there's just so many extra details that they give to him to make him stand out that much more.
There really is. And like, I know the bad guy is here to get a certain character in this town for his bounty to collect. I have no fucking idea what Nick Cage's role is in this movie. Like, what is he supposed to be here for, or who they're trying to collect? Because like he's loading up his belt and stuff. He's like obviously a badass gunslinger. And I want to dress up as him because he looks fucking outrageous.
You should get those glasses for sure.
Yeah. Oh, and he's got his camera, and then it's this 2, 1, and then here he is. I don't know what I'm supposed to take from this scene.
Like, there's 4 gentlemen pointing the gun right at him right now, and he somehow gets out of this.
There's no way you get out of this.
Oh, he does, though. I guarantee you he does.
He does.
I'd pizza bet you that he does not die right here.
Oh, like, what is he saying here?
He was the standout, definitely, in the trailer. Like, he's the only enticing thing about this. It just seems like a movie I've seen before. Very far, but now hell of far.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I'm excited. If this does drop in theaters, I will you know what, you'll probably get a Taylor review for sure. I really do
Nice.
want to give it a watch.
I will be there on the receiving end, not contributing with you. I'll
You
be
don't want to
listening
go
to
see
that
it?
one.
If I go to see it on the west side, would you go see it? Bring your dad?
You know, let's talk closer to. I'm not gonna say hard
Okay.
no because I've seen some wild movies with my dad. Maybe he'd be interested. I mean, my dad's always down. He'll go. He's probably
Brilliant.
watching this right now, actually, and he's in his mind. He's like, "Yeah, I'll be there." He's no,
Uh
Statham. That's priority. If Statham's in the project, working man, we're gonna be there for sure. But
Beekeeper 2.
Beekeeper too, yeah.
Cool. I guess we have the Bondsman next. What do you think
Yeah.
about this one?
This was this was a nice trailer for me. I can't remember which one I watched before this. Might have been Gunslingers, honestly, where I'm like, this is just so bland. Right at the start of this, I was just smiling ear to ear. I love this concept. Mr. Bacon himself in here, like I like the setup of it. Honestly, this reminded me a lot of Day Shift, that trailer, which
Mm.
is funny because it's a very different type of movie. But just the vibe of it overall, I really like. I think it's an interesting concept they're setting up here. I think yeah, Kevin Bacon's gonna be just like a great lead in this role, and just I don't know, the two other side characters were making it enjoyable. But just for the chaos of this character that just keeps dying and hunting demons, it's a fun concept, and I really like this trailer. I thought it was really enticing and one that I am excited to see. I don't think I'm itching to get out to the theaters to see it, but I am really excited to see this project. And yeah, it very much scratched that Day Shift vibe for me, which really love the trailer of Day Shift, and I really like the movie. Actually, I had a really fun time with it, so I'm hoping I have the same thing here.
Um, well, I don't think this is a theatrical release. I believe it's a
Was it
Prime.
Paramount or
Uh, oh no, it's a limited series. Sorry, for Amazon Prime. It's not a movie. Sorry,
Oh, really?
I'm
Okay, I
yeah.
totally missed that detail. That's interesting.
Premieres April 3rd.
Is it on Paramount?
And no, it's Amazon Prime.
Okay, Amazon Prime. Interesting. Nice. Well, then I'll be there for that. How many episodes? If it's limited.
I believe. Or did I see? Did I see 8 episodes?
Oh, wow, that's more. I was gonna say less than 6. That's interesting. Okay,
Let me see here. The Bondsman episode
I
count.
am
I'll just get it
intrigued.
confirmed.
Absolutely. Curious if they're like hour-long episodes because that's a
Yeah,
pretty long project.
8.
Yeah, nice, cool. What about you?
They'll all be available at April 3rd. So I'm very excited for this.
Yeah.
It caught me off guard, and I don't know, maybe a review could come out of it if we were to like
Ooh,
binge through all
intriguing.
the episodes
Yeah.
and then like sneak a review into there.
Talk to the
Onto
other
the
geeks.
feeds. Talking to the geeks, yeah, because this looks like it's a lot of fun. You're right. Day Shift is a good comparison. It gave me like R.I.P.D. with Ryan Reynolds kind
Oh
of
yeah,
vibes.
totally.
So yeah, there's like a very dark humor involved with this, but it looked freaky when he comes back and he's driving and the pastor looks over at him and he's got like fiery eyes in his shades. Like just
Yeah.
there's some really cool shots, and I think this is going to be a lot of fun to watch and see what happens. So I'm definitely there, and I'm even more excited knowing that it's a show. I had completely didn't clue in with that until now. So
Yeah.
yeah, and but anything else you have to add on that?
Nope. Nope.
Nope. Well, speaking of shows, we got MobLand that is coming out now. This is on Paramount Plus, and this is the one that
Okay.
has yeah, Tom Hardy and Pierce Brosnan, Helen Mirren. So it's got a pretty awesome cast, and basically just two generations of gangsters. And I had not seen the trailer until now when we're watching it before the news episode, the newscast. But I thought, yeah, this looks like it's a lot of fun. It's really cool to see what's going on here, and I think this is. I'll look up how many episodes it is while you give me your thoughts.
Yeah, I like the vibe overall of it. I like the casting. There's something about these like mob shows or projects that I can't really like stay on. I feel like I get really excited for them initially. I watch a couple episodes and I just really like veer off. The Gentleman, I started that one and just couldn't keep going with it. Yeah, no, it's just something about it. But I did like this trailer. I I don't think I'm really gonna jump on it, honestly. I just think there's too many saucy things out there that I haven't watched. A lot of things on my hit list. We were just talking about Ahsoka. I really want to watch that. Really want to watch Yellow Jackets. I keep I keep hearing that show's really good. And yeah, Shogun. Like I still want to watch Shogun. Like there's some really big White Lotus. Man, there's so many projects that I'm just so not caught up on. Travis is yelling at me right now about Invincible. So there's many things I do have to watch. But hearing that this one is a show, I'm a lot more intrigued by the previous one that we just talked about, Bondsman over MobLand. I really like seeing Tom Hardy in roles that aren't Venom. You know, I won't forget you, buddy. I just feel like he's more at home in a setting like this. He was phenomenal in Peaky Blinders, so it's going to be interesting to see him paired up with the Mearster, and easy there, Detoll. That's not how you spell my name. They're big buddy, Mr. Kirkland Costco over here. But yeah, I have a list, and I'm checking it too many times.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh, and Pierce. I forgot to mention Pierce.
Pierce.
I love seeing just Pierce in these roles as of late. He's hitting like a second stride in his the twilight of his career. That's my word of the day.
That's right. His comeback since he was in Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Black Adam. That was a big appearance for him.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot he was in that movie. I feel like that's one of those movies that's just gonna get swept under the rug.
Black Adam.
Black Adam. Yeah,
it's already under the rug.
It is. It's under the rug. That's right. Cool. Last trailer and topic for the night: the Powerpuffs leaked trailer. What a piece of shit. Discuss.
I will discuss. Yeah, it's funny. Right before the cast, I admitted I couldn't really find the trailer, and then you gave me the leak. You gave me the leak on this one, and when I was reading the show notes just out loud, I was like with Shay, and she got really excited 'cause she's a big Powerpuff Girls fan from like back in the day, as many were. I love that show too as a kid. I thought it was phenomenal. I just liked the setup, and then I kind of forgot that this was a canceled project. So like right away, it's like, oh, Powerpuffs, what? And then I like searched in YouTube, and every single like thumbnail is like, god awful, made me vomit, the worst thing I've ever seen, canceled, piece of shit. And it was just like the funniest string of like basically Red Eye Kathleen thumbnails, but for Powerpuff Girls. But it sounds like these ones are pretty credited because I skimmed the trailer. I didn't really have a lot of audio with it, but it's probably better, you know. This didn't see the light of day, yeah,
Light of day. Yeah, it's something that I don't know exactly why they canceled it, whatever reason there is behind that, but I'm glad that they did. This is not something we needed. I would have absolutely taken an animated series again of Powerpuff Girls because that old school show was great. I remember watching
Mojo Jojo, great villain.
Yeah, like there's some fantastic stuff in there. It's so nostalgic, but we don't need it as live action. Some stuff just does not need to be adapted. You know, in comparison, How to Train Your Dragon. I haven't seen the movie yet, but judging by those trailers, amazing adaptation. It's going to be great. Powerpuff Girls, no. Don't need to do it. So they scrapped
Caesar
it.
Said no.
That's right. So just leave it in the dust, leave it as is, and let those actresses, you know, don't put that mark on their career. Just let them, they can go off, they can do bigger, brighter, better things now without this on their resume. And it's not their fault. I'm sure it's just the way that this some rich guy in a suit was like, yeah, I used to love Powerpuff Girls when my kids were little. I'm gonna put $10 trillion into a shitty TV show adaptation and make another $20 trillion, and here we go. And then they're gonna be calling the shots on the script and stuff, just terrible. Like, oh, slap a filter on there. Just some guy in a suit calling all the shots. I'm sure.
Fucking Bezos.
Some corporate. Oh yeah, yeah, fucking. That's right. Nolan's pissed.
Yeah.
So I'm at the end of the day, I'm glad it's not happening. We don't need it. Yeah. They focus that time and money on other things.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we had a Patreon question, you know, from the great, powerful Maddie Sags. Asked us to rank these trailers in order of whatever we want. I will not go first because I actually dropped the list. I just had it in my head. Actually, I'll go. I'm gonna say Powerpuff Girls at the bottom, and then I'll say Poohniverse pretty much tied at the bottom, but I guess it'll go above that. Well, oh, I guess that's Bambi. It's not just Poohniverse. Gunslingers next, and then MobLand. Or no, sorry. I'm gonna put Alien Earth actually below Gunslingers, just because yeah, it was just kind of hard for me to watch. And then Gunslingers. Then I'll do, I guess, just Bondsman is the last one I didn't say. Oh no, sorry, MobLand, and then Bondsman. Apologies if that was hard to listen to, but that's my
Say
rate.
that again.
MobLand, Bondsman, and the Poohniverse.
Powerpuffs is at the bottom, but not even on the list. It just doesn't deserve to be on the
Yeah.
list, but it's at the bottom. Followed by MobLand, followed by Bambi, Poohniverse, and then sorry, no, I can't do that.
Say
Powerpuff.
that again.
Yeah, fine.
I had to hit you with it. You got me with it.
Yeah, I deserved it. So Powerpuffs at the bottom, Poohniverse next, MobLand next, Bondsman next, and then Gunslingers and Alien Earth. Just,
Praise the
after that.
Lord.
Nick Cage is selling that movie hard for me. That's just so good.
That's why they hired him.
That's why they
He's
hired
good.
him.
He
Yeah.
gets the people.
He sure does. So there you have it. Thank you, Maddie, for the question. Legendary. And yeah, we will be back
Thank you,
later
Detoll, for hanging
this
out.
week. Yeah, Detoll. Thank
You're
you. For coming
forgiven.
around.
That's your one warning, Detoll.
Yeah, so we'll be back. Mickey 17 review coming out this weekend, and then Side Quest popping off next week as well, early next week. So yeah, lots of stuff coming around the corner. So thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Weekly Geek, GeekVerse podcast, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.